you should be guided by the code of ethics in whatever you do. You owe it a duty to the public or the society that you find yourself, and also their professional body.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of our Green Frames Public Relation with Marketing Ethics podcast. I'm your host for today's show, and I go by the name Ms. Faustina Techimesa. In today's episode, we'll be delving into present ethical dilemma and that reflect the realities that public relation professionals in Ghana actually goes through. And to help me do this, I have my guests in the studio, and they will introduce themselves. We start from the left.
My name is Ejo Walanyo Fidelia.
I'm Nuchugan Belinda.
I'm Augustine Ano.
Kisi Ayinso Phyllis.
I'm Fina Pledoku.
I'm Vanessa Ahen.
My name is John Kobina.
I am Ruth Arthur.
And I am Edward Aqua.
Okay, so nice to have you in the studio with me. You guys are looking dusty and beautiful as well. Thank you. Today we want to look at a scenario or a situation that happened in Ghana where a beverage company which actually campaign of recycling. In a way, they actually campaign there and then also celebrate the recycling project in Ghana here to the extent that they even won awards. But at the end of the whole thing, a broadcast journalist, or let's say an investigative journalist, actually did underground investigation and realized that what they actually preached, that they are into recycling, wasn't so. And so it came up that they actually banned the bottles, which has an implication on the environment. So as a PR practitioners and communication expert in the studio with me, I want to know your take on this. And before we start, we want to engage Mr. Edward Aqua to give us a scenario of this whole thing, like his preview of the situation.
Thank you, Fausti, for this question. Basically, most questions that people ask, that from the scenario, it reveals clearly that there is PR or ethical dilemma in this situation. And it's so sad. People ask questions about PR professionals, that who do we represent? So some say, do we represent, are we the mouthpieces of the organizations? Or PR ethical campaign is what we do in that particular organization? So in a way, there's confusion about what exactly a PR professional is up to or is being asked to do. And the situation that you just read, this particular case study, really talks a lot. Now, it's a clear misrepresentation of their environmental effort. This will not only affect their credibility, but it goes a long way as a PR professional to also affect, in a way, breach the ethical code of ethics that we work with. So how do we deal with such situation in our dispensation? Let me give you a clear example. Some years ago, Zoom Lion Ghana came out, or their public relation department came out, that they've been able to tackle most of this sanitation issue within some areas in Accra. Criticism came up strongly, people stating that it's not true, but we still see filth all around us. So how is this true? And the reality dawns on them that, oh, what people were saying was right. As a PR professional, you went out there to lie to the public that you've been able to tackle filth in the surrounding or in the community where you've been stationed to do so. But it wasn't right when reality exposed you. So, such same situation as a PR professional, when it comes to transparency, it is your duty
to be transparent to the society you are serving. You owe it a loyalty to them that you have to be transparent to them. Apart from that, what you have to do is be honest and be consistent in your communication. You are telling them an effort you've been able to do concerning your recycling. Meanwhile, after an investigative piece have proven that is not true, you are now telling your PR department to go and tell a different story, that you're on it and you improve on it. How do you do that? How do you cope? In your conscience, what is not right is not right. Be transparent with them. Tell them the truth, that yes, you erred, you made a mistake. But going forward, you will do what is right. For me, that's the little I can say.
Thank you so much, Mr. Edward Alpha. In fact, you have laid out a very strong foundation for this discussion, and you actually came up with some key points. That is, a PR professional should be transparent, should be truthful, and should be honest. So, thank you for that submission. So, you move on to our first guest, Madam Ruth Arthur. So Ruth Arthur is going to help us talk about the ethical situations or responsibilities in this scenario.
Thank you very much, Faustina. Edward has already emphasized on transparency, and I couldn't agree more. Ethical PR goes beyond image making. It must uphold truth. There are so many cases in Ghana when companies claim to be what? Socially responsible, but are exposed doing the exact opposite. Gloria Steinem once said, and I quote, "The truth will set you free, but it will first piss you off." There's a typical example that happened in 2021 when the sachet water brand advertised on biodegradable plastic. But it was found out that they were doing otherwise. However, few people were doing that, were trying to use this kind of biodegradable plastic. But it was found out that majority of the people who use this, who are engaged in pure water sachets, yes, were doing otherwise. They were actually using the normal plastic, which was not the best. So when the truth came out, there was a backlash, and it was so swift. When we look at the ethical theory, the utilitarian theory, it says that the greatest good requires full disclosure, even when it is unpleasant.
All right, so thank you, Ruth, for that one there. And you actually brought my mind to this issue of in our Ghanaian settings, we always go in for the short-term plan. We don't normally go for the long-term sustainability because, yes, so I think this is something that we all need to look at, the long-term plan that will help us and actually come up with all this situation. So thank you for that one then. So you want to move on to the gentleman in the midst of the women. He goes by the name John Kobna. I believe that's the name, right? Okay, so John will help us with how digital media complicate those matters. So he's going to delve into it, media reportage, media situations actually complicate this scenario. So over to you, John.
Thank you very much, Ms. Faustina, for this platform and the opportunity. One thing that we should have in mind today is that we live in the digital world today, and one thing that we should also know that reputations are either created or made or destroyed online. That's one thing that we should know. Social media can make you, at the same time they can destroy your brand. So I feel like more times whenever we come online to communicate to our audiences, it should be an honest information and transparent also. Our brother Edward did mention some of these PR codes that we should always have in mind whenever we are communicating. Like I mentioned earlier, and then let's take for instance 2020, when this Fix the Country campaign, how it gained attention quickly on the social media, the citizens or the individuals felt like there was a disconnection between the information that were coming from the government and the actual lives or the actual hardship that the citizens were facing. So you could see that the communication or the information that the government was passing was actually not transparent. There was kind of dishonesty, miscommunication in there, because people felt like what they are actually facing on the ground is totally different from what the PR from the government were also narrating. So I feel like just as we have the two-way symmetric communication, there should always be a communication channel between the people and the government for them to also respond of what they are facing, not in other way around of going online or going into the social media to post or to give information that you feel like it's right to you. There should be one thing that you should always have in mind, that every information that you post out there should be accurate, should be information that is truthful, but not information that's going to cause havoc on the social media. Thank you.
Very insightful, Joan. Thank you so much. So this will tell us that social media actually leaves no room for misleading communication. So whatever information that you are putting on social media, you should check that the information is very true and you are not miscommunicating to the general public. So thank you for that. So without wasting my time, we move on to Madam here, Vanessa, right? Okay, so Vanessa is going to tell us about her thoughts on the public, how public reacts when trust is broken, and how PR practitioners respond to such issues.
Okay, thank you, Faustina. So we all know that the public is more informed than ever. So anything we put out there, we should make sure is the truth and nothing else. Because one bad or one misleading claim that is exposed on the internet can damage your reputation. The long-term reputation you've built, the good reputation you've built for yourself. One misleading claim can damage it. So, example, Miss Joyce Jijo Mensah. She was advocating for HIV. She said she's HIV positive and all that, but it later came out that she's never HIV positive. We were all disappointed. I never trusted anything that came out from her mouth again. So I think we should all be aware and informed of whatever we are putting out there, and that will help us as a PR person. Thank you.
All right, thank you too, Vanessa. So with the issue about the HIV issue, you see, this is something that I think that as PR practitioners or ethical practitioners, we should know that the moment your reputation is being breached, there's nothing that you can do to come out of it. Just as she just mentioned, that because of the incident that happened, now she's finding it difficult to trust a woman because anything the woman says, she doesn't want to believe or she doesn't believe it because of the previous incident that took place. So you should be mindful of the things that maybe she did that because of the money. Don't you think so? I think she was able to get an ambassadorial position for the HIV. Yes, so it comes with a lot of goodies. So thank you for that one. All right, so Fina, what do you make of the balance between defending an organization and holding accountability in the scenario that we read?
Thank you very much, Faustina. I think as PR professionals, we should be able to have difficult conversations with our clients. So if we choose to protect our organizations, I think is going to have a risk or damage not only on our credibility, but then as the profession as a whole. Sorry. Yeah. And then I also think honesty is really, really important in as a PR professional. I think honesty should be one thing that you should uphold. It should be an ethic that you should uphold. Let me give you a scenario. There's this major telecom brand that was advertising on an unlimited bundle, And then I think the users realized later that it wasn't really unlimited. There was something there, like there was a gap hidden somewhere. Yeah. So I think as a PR professional, we should be very honest with our clients. Thank you very much.
Thank you too for that submission. But just as we said, we would like you to relate it to the scenario so that it can be more expressed and understanding for all of us. So thank you. Please kindly give the mic to the gentleman in between for me. Hello, Augustine. How are you doing? All right. So I would like you to tell us your take on how PR professionals should or can rebuild trust after it has been broken.
All right, thank you, Faustina, for this platform. So, if you listen to the earlier submission by our colleague Eddie, he emphasized on honesty and consistency. So, rebuilding trust as professionals takes consistent and honest communication over a period of time. It is not just quick fix. So PR professionals should prioritize listening to the public, also acknowledge their mistakes, and also come clear the steps to correct them. Let me give you a scenario, an example, I mean. So, you know Cocoa Board, right? Yes. So, there was a time, I don't know if I should say an alleged laid against them, but there was a fertilizer misallocation. So, at that time, what the PR professionals did was that they engaged the public through town hall meetings and also partner with them. So through this strategic communication means they were able to rebuild their trust over a period of time. Thank you.
All right, thank you too. All right, so we move on to Miss Phyllis. And so Phyllis, you are going to tell us what a company genuinely want to, if a company genuinely want to improve, um, do we help them clean the mess quietly or do we have to go publicly?
Okay, thank you very much, Faustina. So, as a company, if they truly want to work on how to change, I think it's the PR practitioners' role to advise them to communicate with clients by solving issues, being honest and transparent. And also, when you look at the Ghanaian context, we prefer honesty. In as much as the truth is messy, we prefer that you be honest with us. Mark Twain said, a lie can go half through the world, whilst the truth is still sitting in its shoes. This says that in as much as you lie, at the end of the day, the truth will always prevail. So it's better to be transparent with your client so that everything will be, and also it builds trust. Once you are transparent with them, it builds trust. I'll cite the Ghana Water Company, for example. They had the water challenge issues whereby they began publishing plan out stage to the public. In this situation, Ghanaians were appreciated with them being honest, in as much as it didn't solve the problem immediately, but them coming out to issue a statement shows that they are working towards it. So people will be prepared and be on their toes on what to do next. So thank you.
All right, that is an excellent point one there, Felix. Thank you so much. So this actually highlighting on even it's highlighting on how to come up in crisis that you should know that even in situations like that, we should always be truthful, be honest with your followers, don't deceive them. In a way, it goes a long way to build your brand and also let people actually buy into whatever thing that you bring it out to the public. So thank you. All right, so Belinda, can you take us through the challenges that young PR practitioners in Ghana face when navigating through ethical dilemmas, especially when starting their career?
So, one challenge faced by young workers is they fear to lose their job when they speak up. Linking this to our beverage company, I think they were scared to lose their job. They were scared to speak up because they knew that one way or the other they are going to lose their job. And according to C.S. Lewis, it says integrity integrity is the right thing to do even when you are not doing anything. Integrity is the right thing to do even when you are not doing anything. So let's take, for example, a junior PR professional assigned of a political party assigned. He was asked to sabotage the attendance of a particular political party. He was asked to sabotage the attendance, but then he chose to quit the work instead of doing what he was asked to do. Yes, yeah. So I think mentorship and then giving clear codes of ethics can help in this situation. Thank you.
All right, that is a powerful insight over there. Thank you, Belinda. And so this should tell us that ethics should never be compromised, regardless of the stage. We should never compromise it. So thank you. So we move on to Madam Fidelia. So Fidelia is going to give us an insight on the importance of ethical storytelling in PR campaign.
Thank you, Faustina. So, storytelling is a powerful PR tool, but it becomes dangerous when we distort facts. Um, Ethical storytelling means using real data, real voices, and authentic initiatives to connect with our audiences. So, for example, for a health NGOs, use of stage images in um, a maternity health campaign backfired when the community members recognized the exaggeration, but they later rebranded with effective testimonials, and then this resonated better.
Okay, so I would like you to relate it to the scenario that we read about a top beverage company in Ghana.
So, linking it into the topic our host came about, I think about the PR practitioners lying about being recycling whilst they are not doing recycling of beans. I think using storytelling, they can be able to use real images or notes to be able to be transparent with their audiences, and then they should be honest with their audiences, and this is going to help them, and they are going to build the trust with their audiences again. Thank you.
You are still watching Green Flames Public Relation and Marketing Ethics podcast. So we are about ending the session. So we want to take your last words from my guests in the studio. So I'll start from Fidelia. What's your last words concerning the issue about the top beverage company in Ghana, which launches its PR campaign celebrating its recycling efforts, even upon winning sustainable awards? However, local investigative journalists uncovers that most of the bottles are actually being dumped or burned, not recycled. So when confronted, the company releases a statement saying, "We are improving our waste management process." Give me your last words for this.
Okay, so I would say that people are more likely to be persuaded with stories that are true and coherent. So I would say that as a PR professional, you should be very truthful and transparent with your audiences. If you know the thing is not true, don't go and put it out there. So just be truthful, transparent, and then you are good to go. Thank you.
Okay, so see, as Louis said, integrity is the right thing to do when you are not doing anything. So in this case, I think integrity should be one of their principles here, and then everything is okay.
Thank you. Mr. Wisdom, give me your last word.
Okay, so even though what they did, PR professional code and conduct is unethical, but I feel that with consistent efforts with their public relations communication, they are going to rebuild their trust with the public over time. Thank you.
You can't lie forever, so definitely you need to come clean. So I'll suggest that they come out, be transparent with their clients and also the organization as whole in order to build trust between the organization and the client. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello. So I think as PR professionals, we should be honest with our clients or our consumers. So I think they should have come clear, as she said, they should be honest. Yeah. And I think, one thing about honesty is when you you break that thing with people, like honesty, it's very difficult to get back. Yeah. So I think when you are doing in your doings, honesty should be like the first thing you should. Yeah. Yeah. So that's like.
So I think in the first place, they shouldn't have told a lie to win an award. They should have been transparent with their audience because now their reputation has been damaged. Building it back is a very big problem. They are no longer credible to us. Whatever they say, we will not understand or we will not agree to it. So I think the PR professional should not listen to what the organization is saying, but rather do what he thinks is right for all of the audiences and for him. Because if he tells a lie right now, in future, he might not be working at this particular organization forever. So protecting his reputation will help him because in future maybe another company wants to work with you, but because of what you've done, there's no way they will help you. They'll work with you or they'll trust you as a brand. So I think he should do better and do what he's supposed to do, tell the truth to the public.
All right. That's a good one there. Tell a lie today, and you have to tell a lie repeatedly in your life.
Yes.
Thank you about that. So, Mr. John Covenant, over to you. Your last word before we go.
All right, thank you very much once again. This has been a very insightful discussion. And like we all know, water can save your life and at the same time it can kill you. Social media today that we have has so many advantages. At the same time, it has disadvantages. Like I mentioned earlier in my submission, so social media can help you as a brand to gain reputation, which will help you. At the same time, it can also damage your reputation if things goes wrong. So I feel like the organization shouldn't play with the minds of their clients or the citizens, because each and every day people on the social media are learning. Today people are learning media and information literacy, whereby they are able to disseminate every information that is put out there. So my advice to the company is not for them to just come out to say anything, any information that is going to cause them in the near future, but instead they should use the social media as a platform to communicate effectively with their audience, because wherever they stand to pass any information goes a long way to reach their audiences. So I feel that they should use the social media as a tool or as a medium to reach out to their maximum audiences and probably work on the case that they're having currently. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think a long-term credibility is very, very important. Like a zillion times better than a short-term praise. They were thinking about the short-term praise, but this could easily get them doomed. So they should come out all the time, transparent in all their dealings, and it will help them to build a long-term credibility. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And then with the president, what we started the show with, so over to you, Mr. Give me your last word.
Well, let me thank you on this for this particular discussion. As young PR professionals coming up, I wish this kind of discussion will be held in a way to help us equip ourselves, especially with the ethics we find ourselves. Because if we should find ourselves in such a situation, someone may ask, what will you do? Now, when the situation dawns on you, that's where you realize that the reality is not as you think. For me, my colleagues have said it all. The transparency, the honesty, you can't tell a lie all out. At a point in time, definitely, you'll be exposed. Yes, some are saying, yes, use the social media platform to better your reputation, which is good. But make sure that when you are building a legacy, a lasting legacy, build it right. Let the foundation of that legacy be strong, so that in future, you don't ruin that reputation. Because once you ruin that reputation, it's forever, and it's going against you. Though people use
testimonial or story in the form of storytelling to rebrand and build their brands again. But if you ask yourself, will you be able to fit in that same category if you find yourself in such a situation? So these top beverages, the only advice I can give, now you're a PR officer there, and you have been told by the management, go and say this to the public. Let your conscience guide you. Don't forget, you are part of a professional body, the PR professional body. And as such, you have to do things right. You should be guided by the code of ethics in whatever you do. You owe it a duty to the public or the society that you find yourself, and also their professional body. So you don't just choose management by saying what the management is telling you is, go and say this. You've already lied your way out, winning awards. We get you. But do things right this time around. So pick up the pieces. Go to the media. Tell them what is the truth. Let them trust you that, yes, you've been honest with us, though you've told lie for so long. But this time around, this is how you're going to rebuild that confidence in them. By so doing, be honest with them. Be consistent with your communication. Don't lie your way out. In so doing, you will be able to foster trust in the society and your customers as well. Thanks so much.
Building your reputation, start from the word go. And this actually helps you for your audience, your clients, your consumers to buy into your credibility. This is where we end the show.